Yes. Whenever I say transformer, it is 1 kVA means it's a full load kVA rating. Okay. Full load kVA. Every transformer, motor and generator, auto transformer, they are not open. They are covered with outer metallic body, and on its body you will find smaller one rectangular nameplate. On that nameplate, for this single phase transformer, you will find this one specifications. What is written? 1 kVA, 110 volts slash 220 volt, single phase 50 hertz transformer. Like this is written there. Okay. So what is its advantage? Means this is the 1 kVA, that is full load kVA rating is 1 kVA divided by 110 volt, you will get it something 9.09 ampere. I1 full load, how to calculate that we have seen formula, all of you know. kVA rating into 10 to the power 3 divided by V1 is I1. What does it mean? You can put load on transformer so that current in primary should not be more than 9.09 ampere. See here, I have done the calculations to show you rather than just talking. See here, this one we have seen in theory also. I1 full load, this is the formula. Transformer is of 1 kVA, V1 is 110 volt, means through primary only this one maximum current you can pass. Similarly, on secondary 220 volt, 1 kVA transformer 4.545, you will get the secondary winding full load current, means through secondary you can pass this current only. 4.54 and through primary maximum 9.09. This much load only you have to put on transformer. Otherwise, transformer will burn. That is the benefit of it. So using these three, you can calculate I1 full load and I2 full load, so that you will get idea how much load you can put on transformer. Now why this is called as direct loading method. First one reading we are going to take at no load. No load means this load will remove from secondary. And from second reading, we are going to connect here 2 lamps in parallel, then 4, 6, 8 and 10 lamps in parallel. Like this, total 6 readings. Means load here on transformer we are increasing. Okay. Now transformer, how much voltage you have to apply here? 110 volt. On secondary, you will get 220 volt. Available everywhere you is 220 volt single phase AC. Then how you can apply 110 volt? Step down transformer you can use, or another option is auto transformer. So this is a symbol for auto transformer. Auto transformer also we'll see soon. We'll show you symbol of auto transformer here. See, this is the auto transformer. Auto transformer. I can cover now also. We'll cover. बोल देती हूँ अभी आपको यहाँ पे auto transformer. See, transformer we have seen many times. Transformer, single phase transformer means single winding on primary, single winding on secondary. Both the windings are wound on common magnetic core. See, like this. This one number of times we have seen. This is for transformer. It is used to step up or to step down the voltage. Input is AC, output is also AC, single phases. Okay. Now here, now you see the auto transformer. See, auto transformer, how many windings you can find here? See, how many windings are there? Only single winding is there. Okay, only single winding is there. Single. See here, all of you can see in transformer here 2 windings are there, and in auto transformer only single winding is there. Single winding you can find here. So few turns of it. Suppose 2 types are there. This is the step down and this is step up. Auto transformer. Now why this one is step down? Because all of you can see all turns are there on primary here. And very few turns are there on secondary. How many turns there on secondary? This only. Less turns are there on secondary. That's why it's a step down. In step up, reverse is the case. See, this is the load, means output side. Across output side, all the turns are there. This one. See, all turns are there on secondary and very few turns. This only. This turns only are there on primary. So this is step up and this one is step down. Now here what is done? This is the input voltage which is fixed here, and these are the two input terminals. Here you apply single phase AC voltage 220 volt. So fixed voltage you are going to apply across all the turns. Now output from where is tapped? From lower one fixed and one variable point is there. Auto transformer has one variable point. Initially this variable point, this one variable point is at position O. O means consider A point. This one point I am putting lower one. This one point I am going to mark as point O. So initially this variable point is at position O. On this auto transformer, on its body, one black color circular knob is there. This knob you can rotate in clockwise direction. Initially it is at off position. Off position means this variable point it as position O. Now as you go on moving this rotating knob from off position in clockwise direction, nothing but what you are doing, this variable point you are moving from O up to C. Means like this, in this direction. From this is the O point, this variable point you go on moving from O up to C. So as you are moving from O up to C, what is happening? If you observe, turns on secondary, that is output side, are increasing. So voltage also across these two output terminals increases. That's why it is called as across these two output terminals you are getting variable output AC voltage, and that's why it is called as variac. Okay, and this variable AC voltage, if you apply across lamps, intensity of lamps depends on voltage. More is the voltage, more will be the intensity. Okay, so that's why it is also called as thermostat also. So auto transformer to apply variable AC voltage. That's why it is called as variac also, thermostat also. So auto transformer, variac and thermostat, same thing. What is its application? Application is when available input voltage is constant, and that is everywhere. All of you know single phase AC voltage 220 volt constant everywhere. Three phase AC voltage 420 volt constant everywhere. So whenever available input voltage is constant and I wanted to apply to some circuit, initially suppose 100 volt, then 110 volt, 120 volt, 220 volt, so on. So go for auto transformer. Okay, on its body one black color knob is there. This variable point, that black color knob, as you go on changing, nothing but the position of this variable point changes, and across these two output terminals turns changes, and that's why variable AC output voltage you get. Okay, so to step up and to step down the voltage, if you want to step up or step down the voltage, then go for transformer. Okay, fixed voltage you will get across its secondary, but whenever you wanted to whenever you want variable AC voltage, go for auto transformer. Okay, in both transformer, auto transformer, input is also AC, output is also AC. Okay, so auto transformer means variable AC voltage. Now you compare it with this. So what is the difference between the two? If you observe transformer, see here, separate primary winding, separate secondary winding, two different windings are there, but here only one winding is there. Means size of auto transformer is less compared आप same kVA rating के manufacture करो. One transformer suppose of 1 kVA rating and one auto transformer of 1 kVA rating. If you compare their size, you will find auto transformer has less size or it is smaller in size. Why? Because only single winding it requires and transformer requires two windings. So as a small size is there, means costing obviously less copper it requires. Copper is costly, so less copper required, so cost reduces, isn't it? Again, less copper is required, single winding is there, so copper losses also will be less, then efficiency is more. Okay, so these are the advantages of auto transformer. But only what is the disadvantage? Suppose this is the step down. Step down means more voltage is there on primary, suppose 220 volt, and on secondary maximum you can apply 110 volt. Step down hai. So on secondary consider the maximum voltage you will get 110 volt, means 0, 10, 15, 17, 18, 27, any voltage till 110 volt you will get on secondary. So this load, whatever I have connected, it can withstand only 110 volt. Okay, like this load I am going to connect across output terminal, not more than 110 volt it can withstand. Now consider करो ये जो winding है ना यहाँ पे break हो गई. Consider करो so here see, consider that winding here breaks accidentally. So if it breaks, then what will happen? Complete 220 volt will be there on secondary. So then that load may get damaged. So this is only the disadvantage with auto transformer. If any means possibility of short circuit will be there, as single winding is acting as primary also and secondary also. And if it get accidentally open, then it will be means it can damage the load also. Okay, so this is about the auto transformer. So this is the symbol. This is the symbol of auto transformer, step down, and this is the step up. Variable AC voltage, that is its application. In your syllabus, symbol, advantages, disadvantages, and application. This point of auto transformer only included. Okay, so in direct loading method, then all of you can find here. We'll back again to direct loading method. So see here, auto transformer, because I wanted to apply here 110 volt and available, all of you know, supply specification across phase and neutral, single phase, AC voltage. It has one live terminal which is marked as phase and another black color insulation terminal which is marked as neutral. 220 volt single phase AC supply, 50 hertz is the supply frequency. Okay, so input voltage is fixed, and here output, these are the two output terminals. This variable terminal you go on changing so that voltage is 110 volts. This is the voltmeter which is connected across primary. See here, it is the voltmeter which is connected across primary. So adjust this variable point so that this voltmeter reading is 110 volt. In direct loading method, 110 volt input voltage we always keep constant. Why we keep it constant? Because all of you know input voltage is constant. See here, this is the observation table for direct loading method. All of you can see here, input voltage V1 is constant. We have seen iron loss, core loss, hysteresis loss, and eddy current loss. If input voltage V1 is constant, then we can say whatever the flux flowing through the core of a transformer from no load up to full load is constant. Flux is constant. That's why iron loss and core loss are constant. Okay, that's why in this method, before noting down every reading, you cross check whether V1 is 110 volt or not. See this voltmeter reading, and if it is not 110 volt, this voltmeter reading, adjust this variable knob and make it 110 volt. Okay, so 110 volt you have to apply on primary side. That's why we have used here auto transformer in this method. Now see here, I want to now this direct loading method means what? First reading at no load, and then 2, 4, 6, 8 and 10 lamps we are connecting in parallel across secondary of a transformer. That's why it is called as direct loading method. Direct loading method, it is used for what purpose? To calculate the efficiency of this transformer and to calculate the voltage regulation of this transformer. Okay, direct loading method is used to calculate efficiency and voltage regulation of this single phase transformer. Now I want to calculate here efficiency. Efficiency in general formula, all of you know, it's a ratio of output power by input power. Okay, so how I can measure single phase AC output power and how I can measure single phase AC input power? Formula for power, AC power, all of you know, VI cos phi. If you see the formula for power in DC circuit, it is only V into I. DC circuit formula, DC power, In DC circuits, all of you know the formula of power. It is V into I. Means in DC circuit, voltmeter ammeter reading is sufficient. Voltmeter ammeter reading is sufficient. But what is the formula for power in AC circuit? VI cos phi. So cos phi also you have to consider. That's why in AC circuit, to measure AC power on primary, one wattmeter is connected and one wattmeter is connected on secondary to measure AC output power. So here W2 by W1 into 100 you will get the efficiency. Okay. Now here what is happening? See, first one reading we are going to take at no load. No load means secondary will be open. See, like this will be the condition. See, this is the condition. Apply 110 volt. Current will flow through primary winding. Then it will produces flux. That flux comes in contact with secondary winding. E2 mutually induced EMF get induced here. Now secondary, all of you can see here, it is open. As it is open, EMF will get induced in it, which is equal to E2 4.44 F phi m N2, and we have seen in theory in previous lecture all these parameters are constant. All these parameters are constant. That's why E1 and E2 both are constant. And V1 we are going to keep constant in this method 110 volt. Means in this method all voltages are constant. V1 input voltage is constant, E1 is constant, E2 is constant. Now secondary is open. That's why you can see in observation table for first reading I2 is 0 because secondary is open. As no current is flowing through secondary, see here, secondary is open, I2 is 0, no current is flowing through secondary. That's why power consumption on secondary will be 0. That's why for first reading, all of you can see here I2 and W2 both are 0. Now we have seen number of times that although no load is connected here across secondary, EMF get induced in it, and that is E2. This transformer specification we have seen 110 volt / 220 volt. Means this voltage you will get at no load. You keep secondary open and connect one voltmeter across this at no load. Measure this voltage induced E2, you will find it, this is 220 volt approximately. 218, 220 volt you will get it. Okay, so as no load is connected on secondary, EMF get induced in secondary. That's why it is called as no load voltage. Okay, that's why it is called as no load voltage. So here in direct loading method, whatever the first reading, here see in observation table, see whatever this 220 volt, will consider it as a no load voltage and it is marked as E2. Okay, next thing. Now from second reading, what we'll do? We'll connect the load across transformer. So see here, we have connected first lamp and second lamp also I will connect in parallel, because each and every load always get connected in parallel in electrical system. Okay, so second reading, 2 lamps in parallel, then 4, 6, 8 and 10 lamps in parallel. Now circuit is closed one on secondary. So the moment E2 get induced here, current starts to flow, that is I2. Current starts to flow through secondary. Now here you will observe total load current and current flowing through secondary is same, which is marked as I2 is equals to IL. Current is flowing, this lamp will glow. Means transformer, it is transmitting the electricity. Okay. Now here, see here, and to measure voltage across load, one voltmeter you have to connect across load here. So see here, circuit diagram. In this diagram, all of you make correction. Don't connect this voltmeter over here. Connect it across load. Connect it across load. So here you can see this is V1, this is I1, this is W1 on secondary, I2, W2 and V2. This is the observation table. See V1, I1, W1, V2, I2, W2. Go on changing load and note down the reading. Keep V1 constant. That's it. Okay. Now here what is happening? Load you are increasing 2, 4, 6, 8. Load you are increasing. Load, each and every lamp get connected in parallel. Okay, so here each and every lamp is of 100 watt, means load you are increasing, means increased load requires more power. So V1 is constant, E1 is constant, and E2 is constant here. Increased load requires increased power. So how transformer will supply increased power to increase load? Formula for power VI cos phi. Cos phi is not in our hand. It depends on this load power factor it is. Now voltages are constant V1, E1 and E2. Now only which parameter left? Current. So what is happening here? As you go on increase load, to supply increased power to increase load, what transformer does? It takes more and more current from primary and supply more power to load, increase load. So I1 increases. I2 also will increase. Another reason why I2 increases, see, load you are connecting here in parallel. All of you know 4 and 4 ohm is in parallel, resultant is 2 ohm. 4 in parallel, resultant is 2 ohm, means total load resistance decreases. On secondary, two resistances are there. One is copper winding resistance, another is load resistance. We are talking about load resistance and not the copper winding resistance. Okay, so load you are increasing, load you connect in parallel, so total load resistance decreases. On secondary side, which is the induced EMF E2, which is constant. Now uh, E2 is constant here. E2 is constant and load resistance is decreasing. What is happening on secondary? E2 is constant and load resistance is decreasing. Voltage constant, resistance decreasing. Means what is its effect on current? Current will increase. Okay, that's why I2 increases. So means what is the conclusion? As on transformer load you go on increasing, I1 I2 increases, and as load increasing, I1 I2 increases, W1 and W2 also increases. So if you see this observation table, V1 is constant, I1 I2 W1 and W2 all four parameters go on increasing. Okay, now what happens with voltage across load? On secondary, we have seen the voltage equation. E2 minus I2 R2 is equals to V2 is equals to VL. Okay, this is the voltage equation we know. Now what is happening? As you are increasing load on transformer, E2 is constant and I2 is increasing. So in this equation, E2 is constant, I2 is increasing. That's why I2 R2 drop also will increase. As I2 R2 drop increases, E2 is constant, V2 will decrease. Okay, so all of you can see here observation table. See, all values of V2 you compare. First one it was 220 volt. Then you connected two lamps in parallel, 218, 4 lamps, 6 lamps, 8 lamps, and 10 lamps in parallel. So what is happening here? Voltage across lamps go on decreasing. That is not expected. Whenever you switch on every tube light fan, what is expected? Voltage across it should remain constant. But it is not, it don't happen. As you go on increasing load, voltage across load go on decreasing. And this is called as voltage regulation of a transformer. See here, voltage regulation of a transformer. Change in voltage across load from no load up to full load with respect to no load voltage. E2 is what? No load voltage. V2 is what? Full load voltage. So how you can define voltage regulation? Change in voltage from no load up to full load with respect to no load voltage is called as voltage regulation. What is expected? This change in voltage from no load to full load. This change means this readings 220 to 210. They are changing, but this change, what is expected, should be less. Efficiency we expect maximum 100% is the ideal value. Similarly, this voltage regulation, what is expected? This change in voltage is less. It should be less. That's why ideal value of voltage regulation is 0%. It should be minimum. Voltage regulation should always be minimum. But it don't happen. What is happening? E2 constant hai. As you are increasing load, I2 increases, I2 R2 drop increases, E2 constant hai. That's why V2 decreases. Here negative sign is there, E2 is constant, V2 is decreasing, negative sign is there. That's why voltage regulation will go on increasing. That's why if you plot a graph, voltage regulation versus current, see here, voltage regulation along y-axis, current along x-axis. You will find voltage regulation depends on current. That's why voltage regulation along y-axis. When no load is there, I2 is 0, voltage regulation is 0%. E2 minus E2 will be there in the numerical. Formula is what? E2 minus V2 upon E2. So E2 minus E2. Voltage regulation will be 0 at no load. That's why graph will start from origin. And as you increase load, I2 increases, I2 R2 drop increases, E2 is constant, V2 decreases, and that's why voltage regulation will go on increasing. Okay, this is about the voltage regulation. Now, what we have seen up till now, what I told you up till now, this is the formula for voltage regulation. And as you go on increasing the load, V2 decreases. Means what? V2 is always less than E2. See, V2 is always less than E2. This is the condition only for R and L type of load. Resistive, inductive, series, parallel. You go on switching, what will happen? V2 always decreases. So V2 is always less than E2. In this formula, if V2 is always less than E2, voltage regulation, you will get positive. MCQ question, voltage regulation for R and L type of load is positive or negative? So it is positive, because what happens? You go on increasing R and L type of load across transformer, V2 decreases, means E2 is always greater than V2, here negative sign is there. That's why voltage regulation is always positive. See here, I have written voltage regulation is always positive for R and L type of load. See, but what happens with capacitive type of load? See what happens with capacitive type of load. For capacitive type of load, as you go on increasing load, we have seen for capacitor reactive power is VI sin phi. Phi is always negative. That's why VI sin phi reactive power we get negative. And as it supply negative reactive volt amperes, and formula for capacitances in parallel, their resultant you have to add them, isn't it? Capacitors you connect in parallel, what is their equivalent? C1 plus C2 plus C3, you have to add them. That's why what happens, as capacitive type of load you go on connecting in parallel, whatever voltage across capacitor increases. Now here V2 is increasing for capacitive type of load. That's why means V2 becomes greater than E2 here for capacitive type of load, and that's why voltage regulation you will get negative for capacitive type of load. So MCQ question, for RL type of load voltage regulation is positive, for capacitive type of load voltage regulation is negative. Okay, now so this is about the positive and voltage negative voltage regulation. This is the in the form of graph I have plotted I2 along x-axis and voltage across load along y-axis. So this is the no load voltage. We have seen no load voltage E2, which is constant always. Okay. Now when you switch on R and L type of load, what happens? Voltage across it go on decreasing, positive voltage regulation. When you switch on only capacitive type of load across transformer and load you go on increasing, what will happen? V2 becomes more than E2, and that's why voltage regulation is negative. In the graphical format only, V versus V2 versus I2 and voltage regulation. Just now we have seen for R and L type of load, voltage regulation go on increasing. Okay. So this is about the voltage regulation. So voltage regulation formula is E2 minus V2 upon E2 is the formula. So what you have to do here in this experiment, see, whenever you use this formula for voltage regulation, see E2 minus V2 upon E2. So in this formula, for all reading, you have to calculate voltage regulation. So this 220 volt you take as E2 and the rest all values are of V2. So for every reading, while calculating voltage regulation, see here, this is the result table. Don't calculate voltage regulation and efficiency for first reading because first reading is at no load. At no load, no one will ask you to calculate the efficiency and voltage regulation. From second reading, calculate the voltage regulation E2 minus V2 upon E2 into 100. Use E2 in every formula as 220 volt and these are the rest V2 values 218, 16, 14, 12 and 10, 210 up to 210. Okay. And how to calculate the efficiency? See efficiency W2 by W1. W2 readings are there, W1 readings are there. See here W2 by W1 into 100 will be the percentage efficiency. When you plot the graph, you will get the efficiency nature like this. See here. You will get the graph of efficiency like this. Percentage efficiency versus output power. Efficiency depends on output power. That's why dependent parameter along y-axis. Now, as you go on increasing the load, output power increases. Now, initially you will find efficiency increases, then reaches to maximum and then starts decreasing. Now, why the nature is so? We have seen the losses. Here V1 is constant, that's why flux in the core is constant. In direct loading method, V1 is constant, that's why flux in the core remains constant. And that's why iron loss, core loss is always constant. We have seen it. Now, from this to what does it mean? From this to this point, iron loss is constant. But what's about copper loss? We have seen I1 square R1 plus I2 square R2. As you increase load, I1, I2 increases. That's why copper loss increases. Okay, that's why copper loss increases. Means from this to this point, copper loss is changing. So in BL Thareja, you will find this derivation not included in your syllabus. What is the condition at maximum efficiency? MCQ question. What is the condition at maximum efficiency? Iron loss is equals to copper loss. Its derivation you will find in BL Thareja, not included in your syllabus, directly the condition. Okay. What they have done in that derivation, formula for efficiency is output by input. Input is output plus losses. So this, using this formula, derivative of efficiency with respect to I2. Along this W2, nothing but I2 you can consider. So D means derivative of efficiency with respect to I2 at maximum efficiency point is 0. Rate of change of efficiency with respect to I2 at this maximum efficiency point is 0. And then put here value of efficiency and simplify it. You will get iron loss is equals to copper loss. Only you keep this condition in your mind. At maximum efficiency, both the losses are equal. Okay. Okay, so iron loss and copper loss are equal at maximum efficiency point. If both the losses are equal at this point and iron loss is throughout constant, can you tell me what is the relationship between iron and copper loss below maximum efficiency point? Iron loss is throughout constant and copper loss increasing. So below efficiency point, which one loss is greater or which one is less? Can anyone tell?
Some iron loss will be greater.
Correct, correct. Iron loss is very good. Iron loss is greater. That's why what happens? You go on increasing the load, efficiency increases. When both the losses becomes equal, you will find that is the maximum efficiency point. And beyond this point, still you are increasing the load on transformer. So obviously, as here both are equal, load you are increasing, I1, I2 increases. That's why what will happen? Copper loss becomes more than iron loss. And that's why efficiency starts decreasing. Okay. So why the nature is so? This is the reason. In this region, iron loss is greater. That's why efficiency increases. At maximum efficiency, both the losses are equal, and later on copper loss becomes greater than iron loss. That's why efficiency starts decreasing. So if you plot a graph between efficiency versus output power, you will get the nature like this, and voltage regulation versus output current, you will get the nature like this. Okay. Now we'll see efficiency also, voltage regulation also. Two simple formula we have seen for voltage regulation and efficiency. See, this is the efficiency and this is the voltage regulation. These two formula, everyone please keep in your mind. Whatever the numericals you will get asked to calculate the efficiency and voltage regulation, either you have to use this formula, another one also we are going to see. Huh? So voltage regulation E2 minus V2 upon E2 into 100 and efficiency is W2 by W1 into 100. Now we'll see first voltage regulation. Another formula is also there for voltage regulation of transformer. See here. 25. On page number 25, this I already shared with all of you. This one, page number 25, voltage regulation formula is there. See here, this one, voltage regulation. So this one just now I told you, what exactly mean by voltage regulation, that voltage across load changes. That is called as voltage regulation. So this is the one formula. Based on this, you will get asked numerical, or another formula is this one. Its derivation not there in your syllabus directly. ये सिर्फ formula आप ध्यान में रखो. This one formula is R2E is there and X2E is there. Means referred to primary or referred to secondary. It is this formula we have seen. Referred to primary, referred to secondary side parameters. So here R2E and X2E is there. Means can you tell me this one formula is referred to primary or referred to secondary?
Secondary.
Correct. It is referred to secondary. Very good. And referred to primary also formula is there. 1 minute will show you. See, referred to primary. Either you use formula referred to primary or you use formula referred to secondary. By both the formula, you will get same answer. Okay. So you keep all three formula in your mind to calculate voltage regulation. In the numerical, maybe given parameter are E2 and V2. Then using this, you can calculate the percentage voltage regulation. Or maybe referred to secondary parameters are given to you, R2E and X2E, then compulsory you have to use referred to secondary formula only to calculate voltage regulation. Or in the numerical, maybe referred to primary R1E and X1E given, then use this formula to calculate the voltage regulation. Means for voltage regulation, three formula you have to keep in your mind. Got it? First thing. Second thing is, okay, this three formula you have to keep in your mind to calculate voltage regulation. Now, if you observe the lower two formula here, see here. Here plus minus sign is there. Now, when to use plus and when to use minus, see here it is given. Plus for lagging power factor and minus for leading power factor. Whenever in the numerical it is given to you that load is having lagging power factor, they mention calculate voltage regulation so and so load with lagging power factor. Then use here plus sign. If they mention calculate voltage regulation for leading power factor with so and so power factor, so use here negative sign. Now, why positive for lagging? Why negative for leading? I think some of you may got it, because phi is what? Phase difference between voltage and current. We have seen RL circuit also, RC also, and RLC also. In RLC, we have seen more inductive type, more capacitive side type, right? RL type or RLC with more inductive type. For both, all of you know what is the formula of Z? R plus JX, where X is XL for series RL, and for series RLC it is XL minus XC. For both series RLC and series RL and series RLC with more inductive, whatever Z, its imaginary part is always positive. This one we have seen number of times. That's why phi is always positive, and sign of plus phi is plus sign phi. That's why plus for lagging power factor. Series RLC more inductive, imaginary part is positive. For series RL, current lags. That's why lagging power factor. Means what is the conclusion for lagging power factor? Phi is positive. This one number of times we have seen. Now what happens with leading power factor? Leading power factor means what? Series RC or series RLC with more capacitive. So series RC or series RLC with more capacity, we have seen for Z, its imaginary part is always negative. And current here for series RC, current always leads. That's why that is called as leading power factor. And imaginary part is negative. So phi always you will get negative. And sign of minus phi is minus sin phi. That's why minus sign for leading power factor load in this formula and plus sign for lagging power factor load. So here also see plus minus is there, same thing. Got it? Now based on these two, we'll see the numerical how to calculate percentage volt. And R2E means what? X2E means what? We have seen it number of times. What is R2E? R2E is what? R2 plus R1 dash. And what is R1 dash? R1 into K square. Same is the case with X2E. Okay. So hope all of you are remembering that formula. Now based on this numericals, we'll see. See, this one part not there. Huh? Whatever this material I forwarded to you, in it phasor diagram of transformers also drawn. Don't do the phasor diagram of transformer. That is not there in your syllabus. Okay. So voltage regulation, see here. We'll see the numerical on voltage regulation using that formula. And second and third formula. First one will show you first. See. Simple numerical एक देखते हैं पहले. This one. ये देखो. Direct loading method पे है. Everyone please concentrate on this numerical because numericals are there in your syllabus based on direct loading method. See, direct loading method, numericals are there in your syllabus. Everyone concentrate. See, a single phase transformer when connected to a lamp load give following results. V1, I1, W1, V2, I2, W2. I2 and W2 are 0, means first reading is at no load. Okay. And then for second reading, suppose whatever the lamps they switch on, number of lamps they switch on, these are the readings they are getting. And all of you can see here, V1 in direct loading method is always constant. And you have been asked calculate efficiency and percentage voltage regulation of a transformer at I2 is equal to 25 ampere. I told you no one will ask you for I2, W2, 0 to calculate efficiency and voltage regulation for first reading. Only you will get asked to calculate when it is loaded. When I2 is 25 ampere, only for second reading you have to calculate the voltage regulation and efficiency. Efficiency formula we know, W2 by W1 into 100. For second reading, W2 is this one, W1 is this one, into 100 you do. You will get the efficiency 96.61%. Got it? Everyone, very easy. W2 by W1 into 100 is the percentage efficiency. Now see voltage regulation you have to calculate for second reading. So what is the formula of voltage regulation? E2 minus V2 upon E2. So how much value of E2 you take? This 100 volt. This is only that's why to take this 100 volt only first one reading is given. Because we have seen at no load whatever is the V2 is equals to E2. That's why E2 take 100 and V2 take 97. 100 minus 97 upon 100 into 100, that is 3% is the voltage regulation. Everyone got this sum? Any difficulty with this?
No, ma'am.
हाँ ठीक है, ये एक ध्यान में रखो आप लोग. यहाँ पे important point क्या है कि ये जो I2 and W2 are when they are 0, whatever V2 100 volt is equal to E2. That is only the important thing. See, E2 is 100 volt. That's it. Okay. And the rest all values below this are the V2. Okay. This is one numerical based on this direct loading method. Another type of voltage regulation numerical you will get asked. That one we are going to see now. See this one. ये देखो अभी एक. This is very good numerical. Everyone please concentrate. This material I already forwarded to all of you. See here. A single phase 440 volt to 20 volt means it's a step down transformer. KVA rating is 10 KVA, means it's a full load KVA rating. 50 hertz single phase transformer. It has a resistance of 0.2 ohm and reactance of 0.6 ohm on HV side. Now HV and LV is what? HV stands for high voltage. LV stands for low voltage. Now if you observe 420 volt and 220, 440 volt is more. That's why it is HV side. Okay, that is primary is high voltage side. And if you observe 220 volt is less compared to 440, so that is LV side, that is secondary. So primary side resistance and reactance is given to you, and secondary side resistance and reactance are given to you. So all of you can see primary side voltage is more. That's why its resistance and reactance is more compared to secondary side resistance and reactance. And both resistances and are less because copper is used. So what is expected there? Resistance also should be less and reactance also should be less. Then losses will be less and efficiency will be more. Okay. So all of you can see resistances on both the sides are very less. So you have been asked to calculate the percentage voltage regulation on full load for 0.8 lagging power factor, 0.8 leading power factor and unity power factor. Formula we know, you can use either referred to primary or referred to secondary here. Okay, so we'll see here which one they have used. See, referred to primary. You can try it with referred to secondary, same answers you will get. I told you number of times you will get asked in such type of numerical where there is a need to calculate K. नो लोड ट्रांसफॉर्मर में क्या रहता है E2 and V2. E2 is equal to V2 and E1 is equal to V1. That's why this 440 volt V1 directly you can consider it as E1, and this 220 volt V2 directly you can consider it as E2. Okay, so see, if you see this formula, I1 is required. So I1, we know I1 full load. How to calculate I1 full load? KVA rating into 10 to the power 3 divided by V1. KVA rating is given. V1 you know. See here, using it calculate the I1 full load. I1 full load we got, see here in this formula. V1 is already given. कितना दिया है? 440 volt already given. Now which one required? R1E and X1E. So R1E we have seen in previous lecture is what? R1 plus R2 dash. R2 dash is what? R2 divided by K square. How to find out K? Here 220 divided by 400. What is formula of K? N2 by N1, E2 by E1, V2 by V1.
V2 by V1.
Correct.
I1 by I2.
Correct. So using this, calculate the value of K. So put here all the values. So you will get this R1E. Yes.